And then the very next day, he caught food poisoning. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim that I paid the chef £10 to drop some uncooked meat into the stew just for him. I'm not going to say that, but I'm also not going to say that. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Bolton. If you're still enjoying the series, of course, drop a like. That would be most fantastic. Today, I thought we'd start on the page of Luke Mbete Tabu, who was the guy that I kind of talked about a few episodes ago that I was looking at potentially bringing in from Stuttgart. The problem was at the time that I didn't have him fully scouted, and since then, there's a few things that... The reason I basically chose not to sign him in the end was that he would have cost us, a reasonable amount of money. Not too much, though, considering he's an English player, but I guess it's because he's not coming from England. The wages was a bit of an issue. He does have some slight injury problems as well, and that wasn't ideal for us when, the whole point of bringing a player like this in would be consistency. So I might still revisit it at some point and revisit him at some point, but I'm just not entirely sure at the end of the day. When you run out of Bolton Legends for the thumbnails, so you'll whip out the webcam instead. Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that because that's literally half the reason why it happened. I ran out of Bolton Legend cutouts that I had available, which I made at the very start of the save. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going in for a bit. That and YouTube things, unfortunately. So I expect to see my ugly mug in thumbnails for a little while. Today, though, we start off against Leicester City, who are having a very poor start to the season, quite frankly. Now, we do sit top, of course. Still think that it's perhaps a slightly false position, but we showed something against Manchester City that we could stay in games, and I'm extremely pleased with that. It's been a big sort of turnaround, and I feel like we're really starting to see the progression that we wanted to see. There's been steady progression, and I didn't expect us to make the huge jump up this season to where we are, honestly. I just wanted us to be a bit more consistent, and I guess that's just kind of come along with it. I still don't expect us to win the league or actually get that close at the end of the day, but I do think there's a potential shot at maybe even top 4. You never know. It just depends on what happens in games like this. We had a game against Swansea in the EFL Cup. We were 2-0 up and then lost it on penalties, annoyingly, with a long-range banger. Two, in fact, long-range bangers in that game, unfortunately, cost us. Even if did score a brace, though. So there was that. But the board expected us to get to that round. We did get to that round. Would have been nice to go a bit further, but hey, you can't stop those, unfortunately. Rody de Boer certainly couldn't. So most of our backline and most of our team is now back exactly where I want it to be right now. The only player we're really missing is Christensen at the moment, who's not quite fully fit yet. But I will change the bench up, though. Hung will come onto the bench, as will probably Kirosh, just to make sure that we've got a Metsala option off the bench. Because we're basically good in all the other areas of this team now, with Hung, De Pestra, Colombo, Garces, Gilney, and Kirosh, of course. That's still 2 centre-backs, but I don't know who else I'd really put on there, since we've got Hung for him. Yeah, because Ivanov would normally be there, of course, but he's starting today, so we'll have to see. Given the way we're playing, and given the way Leicester are playing, you'd expect this to be a home win, honestly, but we're bound to have some poorer performances at some point, right? But if the lads keep playing the way they are, then you never know. Leicester now do play a slightly more, not unorthodox system, but a system that you don't see quite as much towards the top flight, or anywhere, really. So this will be an interesting test for us. Finally, something's happening. Kang with the ball in, and oh my goodness, he's just headed us straight in front. Bolton 1, Leicester City 0. Kang with a delicious delivery. In the next video, I'm probably going to take a little look at what it might cost to actually sign Kang. Not obviously be doing it, but just taking some inquiries into consideration as Mansour Mohammed heads us in front here at home against Leicester, and this is exactly what we needed right now. Our next 2 games, if you include this, are Leicester at home and Bournemouth, who are bottom, away. Leicester playing some quite nice stuff with the ball around at the back. Not really penetrating us a great deal at the moment, though. But they could potentially drag us out and then fire a ball over the top. But we've allowed him to bring that down. That was poor. And he's through the middle, actually, Dwight McNeil here. Need a big tackle. And, well, no tackle was forthcoming. But McCann was able to make the stop on that one. A little bit too easy for Dwight McNeil there. Madison delivers it. And good headed clearance that time. Really important there. Although, got to be careful with McNeil again. Leicester don't look too bad, considering they're struggling down towards the bottom. And they might be losing this game, too. Oh, Madison's through. Great block. Really good block there from, I don't know who that was. It might have been Farmer. Honestly, it's been quite a subdued half from both teams, really. Just that one free kick is breaking the deadlock here. We'll hold on to our clean sheet for now, but we do need to be a bit more creative going forward. Oh, lovely work from Candela. Bit of space now for Stas. Edge of the box for Ilic. Oh my goodness me, Nikola Ilic. Bolton 2, Leicester City 0. These are the sort of situations we were just not finding ourselves in last season. I think Ilic did score 1 long-range banger, but it's the fact that Candela is able to go past these 2 Leicester defenders here, open the space up for Ivanov, loads of room for Stars, we just rotate it across. I mean, it's still an outrageous effort. Keeper slightly unsighted there from Ilic, and it's now 2-0 before half-time. Perfect. Potentially for the breakaway for them here. If McNeil can find the ball into the channel, there is a gap, and he's found it. Lozek's through. McCannia has to be big here, and he is not. That is a very good breakaway from Leicester City, to be honest. Bolton 2, Leicester City 1. I'd say that's probably a fair goal. They've created a lot more than us in this first half in many ways, and we were a bit fortunate to find ourselves 2 goals to the good here. Maybe more could be done on Dwight McNeil, but once he gets in this position, if he finds the right pass, which he did, it was almost a dead cert chance for Leicester to score, and Lozek is not going to miss that one. Okay, it's fine. So half-time, it's a very, very, very even game right now. The fact that there's been 3 goals in it is actually astonishing, to be honest. This very much feels like one of those games that last season we'd have created a similar amount. The difference is we'd have been a lot worse at the back, and that seems to be oddly one of the main things that have changed for us this year. I think it's just simply come down to not giving the ball away randomly. It's just giving our opponents way less opportunities to actually score against us, and I don't think we've actually got that much better attack-wise, although statistically we clearly have. Kirosh, Ilic now. Oh, a little run around the side for Nikola Ilic. Back for Farmer. Might get the shot away. Good save. But for Kirosh this time. Candela into the box. Whoa, okay, what you doing there, bud? Back post, and Farmer's header, and it's just wide. Well, minute and a half to go. We should be... Oh, that's a good ball. That's a great ball. Ivanov, get the shot away, Veselin. Oh, it's an unbelievable tackle from Fofana. That could have easily been a penalty and potentially a red card because he's already been booked. Very, very tight one. But once again, we're looking like we're going to come out on the right side of it. It's obviously going to come back towards us at some point towards the end of the season. We've not been that good going forward in today's game, but we've got the win anyway, and that is a super important one with, I think, City losing away at Spurs might actually give us, provisionally at least, a 3-point lead at the top of the Premier League. Leicester sort of faded in the second half, and we were able to just take control a little bit more, certainly as far as creation goes. And again, good performance from a lot of the back four. Candela had an off day, as did Demaran, unfortunately, but still, great performance. Kang, once again, man of the match. Incredible. That's his 4th of the year already. What a lad. Right. Games off camera, back in a minute. Right then, guys, we're back, and we went away to Bournemouth to continue the good run that we've been on at the start of the season. Now, albeit bottom of the league Bournemouth, and they were swept aside fairly easily. Kim's header off the Candela cross. Candela had to go off injured immediately after that, but in the second half, it just kind of continued in much the same vein. Colombo getting down the right-hand side here. Eventually, the ball is whipped back across. Kang is the man on the end of it to make it 2-0. And then moments later, we were able to win the ball off of Bournemouth in the midfield. Kang does what he does, slots it through for Kim yet again, and he's able to slowly dispatch that into the bottom corner for Bournemouth 0, Bolton 3. A very, very comfortable win indeed. Just good performances. We had a goal disallowed late on as well, rightly so as well, but just good performances in general. Next up, we're at home against Chelsea in a much more difficult game for us, basically. Chelsea were very good in the first half of this game. Angel Gomez was able to slot them in front on 40 minutes. However, in the second half, things definitely picked up for us, and we were able to get back into things quite nicely. And then in the 90th minute, Famewa with the ball over the top, Farmer getting the ball in the corner, whips a lovely ball in, and there on the end of it was Luca Brace, who'd come on to play attacking midfield in this game for Bolton 1, Chelsea 1. A very, very fair result, I think you'd agree. What I would say is it's just kind of one of those games where we just kind of matched each other throughout the full 90 minutes, and a draw is definitely something we would have taken. But that was then matched with an away 0-0 against Leeds United. We did have a goal disallowed in this game. Maybe we were slightly better than them, but like I said, we've had so many games this season. Well, not so many. We've had a fair amount of games this season where these might have been won by us. So it was statistically likely that we were going to draw a few of these again eventually. So I take the point away from home. But then sadly, we did have a poor performance. Probably our first poor, actual outright poor performance of the year. Farmer getting down the left-hand side, whipping a ball in. There was Christensen on the end. Nice to see him back with that aerial presence, giving us the lead after 8 minutes. And everything looked kind of good at that point. However, breakdown from a free kick. And players just seem to struggle to get position, missing headers, whatnot. Bustos was able to get through and make it 1-1 on the night. And I thought, okay, it happens. But unfortunately then, Bustos was able to score a direct free kick not long after that to make it 2-1 in Norwich. We just kind of had no answer. They had still got some chances in this match, as you can see. We were very, very poor in that first period, even though we scored. And it was definitely our worst performance of the year. We've had to rotate around a little bit due to, who was it? I think it was Mansour Mohammed got a broken jaw. So that's caused some problems. There's just been a few rotation issues. But then things took an even larger turn for the worse away against Southampton, where we put in an even more turgid performance than the one against Norwich City. Poor goalkeeping there from McCannia, gifting it to Sigurdsson to make it 1-0 to Southampton. I made a few changes in the second half because we had to with the fixture congestion. Kim came off the bench this time. Hung getting out on this left-hand side. Eventually the ball rolls through to Kim and he's able to slot us level on 80 minutes. And I thought, you know what, if we get away from this game with a point, I'd happily take it. But it was not to be, unfortunately, as it was headed away here, comes back out again, loads of space in the middle for Pieri, and it was 2-1 to Southampton, and a thoroughly deserved win for them. Back-to-back defeats to Norwich and Southampton, not ideal. No win in 4 now, and you can see how good Saints were in this game. Our defence just kind of suffered a little bit in this game, with, again, DePestre having to play in the middle. Hung had to play on the left-hand side. There was just a few players that I wouldn't have wanted in certain positions to play, and I do think that once we start to drop out of our main 11, we do seem to get a lot weaker because the links are gone, but still, we're doing fine. It might be a poor little run for us, but we still find ourselves 4th in the Premier League. I mean, there's only 4 points separating 1st and 6th in the league. It's anybody's guess who's actually involved in this. City did smash 7 goals past Sheffield United, though, so it does seem that they're slightly back. We were bound to run into a bit of a bad form patch. it was inevitable. We started the season so unbelievably well. There was no way that we were going to continue that for the entire season. The fact that we're still in the conversation is the main thing for me right now, because also, hilariously, after the Leicester City game, where we found ourselves top of the league, I checked the club vision, and the board still rated our match performance as a C+. Top of the league, with Bolton, C+. God knows what they think of it now. Also, hilariously, Regan Booty came to me to complain about a lack of football, which, you know, happens sometimes, but this time he wouldn't take no for an answer, so eventually we had a bit of a falling out, me and old Regan. And then the very next day, he caught food poisoning. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim that I paid the chef £10 to drop some uncooked meat into the stew just for him. I'm not going to say that, but I'm also not going to say that. Today, though, we go away to Everton. We have had finally a week off. During that spell, we were having to rotate around a lot more, whereas now we should be back to essentially full strength for the most part, except not Colombo. I'm going to put Stas in the middle there, of course. So Kim is now back to start. Kang, most importantly, can come back in to start. Christensen's still got a slight knock, so Ivanov can come in, but that's fine. Everybody else, though, is back, and that's the key thing. We really do start to suffer when we have to rotate too much. So hopefully getting the big boys back in the team for a little bit is certainly going to help us. I think Kim's already scored more goals than he did last season, though. So that's definitely a good sign. And Kang's already up to like 7 or 8 assists already. So I want to see what he can do. We need to see strong performances in games like today against Everton. Kim put into the channel, inside the first 10 seconds of the game, he's got no support and it's going to be easily cleared by Ben Godfrey. Still at Everton. I'm also just hoping having our main first choices back in the lineup again could bring back that continuity. Oh, lovely ball on the side for Kang. It's a tough angle and he's just skewed it wide. But again, getting into good positions, better. Not Kenny Tete, in case you're interested in that one. He's got around a good position here. Oh, oh my goodness, what a save from Macania. Everton being very aggressive today, right? That should be a nice... No, Werner's got it as well. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Ryan Noble at the back post, and it's 1-0 to Everton. It reminds me a lot of the goal they scored against us last season, actually. I can't remember who it was exactly that got the goal for them, but it was very, very similar in many ways, with that ball whipped to the back post with the low finish. We lose the ball in a key area here. That's all on Manny Farmer there. And then we had opportunities here. Like, I think he should be doing better with Werner on that particular occasion. It's a great cross from Timo Werner, though. 1-0 Everton, and we're on a bit of a bad run. It happens. I won't be. They're going to allow him all the way through here, I sense. That's a good strike and a good save from Macania. Macania with the ball to Ivanov. They're going to let him bring it down, though. That's not a great pass for Kim, but there's still runners, and Kang has to find one of them, surely, with a pass here. He's going to go alone. He's going to go all the way through alone, and it's a good save. Farmer clatters it clear. Kim should be able to flick this. Actually, he's managed to flick this onto himself. He's tried that a few times in this save. That's the first time I've seen him actually pull that off as it goes. He's got support now, and one of those supporters is there, but it was Ivanov with the shot. Noble out left. Oh, he's cutting back inside here. That's a very interesting part. Wow, they've done it again. Whoa, Macania with a big save. Well, that is without a doubt the worst first half performance we've had all season. Comfortably. Everton have been dominant. Although what seems to have actually just got worse today is the defensive side of things. That's what the real suffering has come from, us just giving up too many chances all of a sudden. Kim's brought it down, actually. He's got a lot of work to do, but he does actually have support rushing into the middle as we're somehow only a goal down, and he's still got it. Go on, Kimmy. He's in the box. Oh, he's going to shoot in the end, isn't he? I can feel it. Yep. I just don't get that. Like, why would you shoot there? But while it's still 1-0, there's always a chance for us to dig out something magical. Again, such weird passing. Oh, Kim's got it. Oh, lovely touch from Kim. It's a tough angle for him. He's going to have to shoot here. It's going to come back for Veselin Ivanov, though. He's in the box. Ivanov scores! It's Everton 1, Bolton 1. We have not deserved a goal in this match by any means at all. But we've hung on in there, and the defenders have just thrown themselves in front of everything, Ivanov from that right spot. Kim, like, Everton get a bit tangled up here. Kim's able to find a little bit of space, but it closes up very, very well, actually, from Everton there. But the moment Ivanov gets past the defender here, he has to score. Well, I mean, not really. It's a tight angle, but he has found the back of the net, and I tell you what, if we get a draw at Goodison, I would take that. I still get the feeling this is going to be like that Southampton game, where we sort of get a fortunate goal to get back into it, and that, just over, but they will probably see it through in the end. Well, a minute and a half to go here at Goodison, and we are currently on for what would be an absolute theft of a point, which would just, I mean, it would stop the losing, which is always key. And it's a point away at a very good Everton team, which we haven't played well enough to, for my money, to deserve, but we will take it if it's what we end up getting in the end. Miranchuk's ball in. Just stay strong here, lads. And again, Kang's very slow off the mark there. I think he is nursing a slight knock, but there's nothing we can do about that currently, which is concerning, of course, for future matches, particularly with the next fixtures that are coming up for us here. But nevertheless, just get out of here with a point, and it would be a terrific one if we were to get it. And Kang's actually brought this down here. I don't know how much he's got in the tank, really. He's found Kim, and that's the main thing. Just keep the ball. See the next sort of 30 seconds out on this game, and that'll do for us. Unless they could put Kim into the channel here. Hung doesn't really do a very good job. Oh, he's gone past one, though. Back for Gilney. Guys, just please do something. There we go. It's not a good ball, and it's easily given away to Everton, but I think that's probably enough possession for us to just hang on and see this game out at a 1-1. Colombo with a big tackle, and that will surely do it here at Goodison. Unless Ivanov's, no, he doesn't. Everton 1, Bolton 1. We did not deserve a point from that game, and it is still 5 without a victory, but getting a point away at Goodison in a game like this is actually extremely good for us, even though I don't think we deserved it in any way. This could have easily been 3-1. I would have said, if it was 3-1, I would have had no complaints about that whatsoever. Ivanov's done well to get us the goal. The defenders let us down a little bit in places, but they also made up for a lot of stuff in that one too. We just couldn't quite get our normal stuff going, but maybe this will be the thing we can bounce off of going into those next 2 extremely difficult matches. So given that Everton were second in the league coming into that game, I'll absolutely bite your hand off for that point, quite frankly, because there's some teams really starting to put together a head of steam at the moment. And for me, it's actually incredible. The top 7 legitimately are all in the title race at the moment. It's a very stacked league currently. I'm surprised, actually. So it is now 5 without a victory, but we'd also won 4 in a row before that. So, you know, swings and roundabouts and all that jazz. Next episode, we start off at home against Spurs. Were we to win that, I mean, I think that's unlikely, but if we did, that for me would be a massive step back in the right direction again, and it would just be like, well, that was a weird blip, wouldn't it? But then we've also got Man United. There's always difficult games in there. Wolves in the Cup as well. Manny Farmer against his old team to go in there as well. So, if you've enjoyed this, in spite of the fact that there's been some icky results in there, drop a like. That'd be lovely. If you're new to the channel, subscribe too. That'd be sick. Stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on Saturdays, so go follow there as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for 2 more, at least, incredibly tough games for us. I'll see you soon. Hold your gun, capybara. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.